So I'm going to show you guys how to create a website and just show you the basics of getting a website. And so the very first thing we need to do is have a domain name and have a server to put it on. It's called hosting. If you don't have a place for your domain name, you cannot put a website on there because it has to hold your information. So my recommendation is to just go to GoDaddy and do this. If you search the internet for GoDaddy coupons, and then it's almost always here. They almost always have this promo. If you scroll down, my favorite is Retail Me Not. So you click there. And then the one you want is called this one, Economy Hosting. Don't do their web builder. If you see some coupon for a web builder, that's not WordPress. So do Economy Hosting, and it says it's $1 per month, and then when you click it, it's going to come up. You can copy the coupon and then you click on the website, and right here it'll let you sign in and register your domain name and your hosting all at the same time. You don't need to get any special services. You don't need SSL security. You don't need email, special email, because if you're like me, you want to do it cheap and make sure you like your website first. So just do the cheapest things they offer, and then once you're registered, it's going to look like this. And so I'm actually helping my friend sign up. So if you want to go to, what's your domain name, Corey? Is it lipbossboymon? Okay. So she got lipbossboymon.com if you guys want to look at her website and see the results of it. And I'm on the phone with her right now, and we're doing this together so I can teach you guys and her at the same time. So this is what it looks like when you've bought the domain name and you've bought the web hosting. So what we're going to do is, the domain name is just sitting there forever, so you don't need to do anything with it. With web hosting, you click on Manage. And Corey, you probably don't need to write this down because I'm going to do some of it for you, which is easier. Okay, so cPanel is like the back end of a hosting server. It's where all the coding is done. And it's kind of crazy. There's a lot of options because this is the same stuff they use to host gigantic corporations. So I'll just show you the exact steps to make your website work. So if you click on Setup, it's going to create your cPanel account. Right here it lets you pick your domain name. So if you didn't pick your domain name when you bought the $1 hosting, you can pick it now. Click on Next. Pick North America. Click on Next. Choose a cPanel username. What do you want this to be, Corey? This is just, yeah, probably. Write this down because I never write this down and I always wish I did. It's hard to find. Okay, and then password. I did generate a password, Corey, because we can look it up later. That way it won't record on the screen. Click Next. Okay, now it says, do you want to create a WordPress website? This is not required, so if you have other plans, you can do something else, but WordPress is what I would recommend for anybody who's new to making a website. So click on Yes, and then let me see if it types. It doesn't show the password. So Corey, you can tell me what the password you want to be for your WordPress. This one you're going to be typing all the time. So do you want that same one? Okay. It was not capitalized, right? Yeah, how about an exclamation point? It requires one, yep. Okay, let me see if I can write that again. Oops, not capitalized. Yes. Okay, yeah, this is for WordPress. So anytime you want to go in and modify your website, you have to log in with this. And I think you can make your computer save it. So click on Finish once you've made your password. Be sure to write it all down, and then it's going to do some computer beeping and make everything install. So we're just going to wait for a second. This is establishing you on their servers so that you have a presence and that your website exists now instead of just like reserving the domain name. So we'll wait, see how it's cute. It's like, oh, I'm making a website. It shows all these numbers and stuff. Your account is ready. Okay. It's not really ready. We have to wait for the button to pop up. Just a minute. It is pretty fast though. Okay. This is called cPanel. You're not going to use cPanel often at all. This is like, yeah, we're going to always use WordPress. So this exists if you ever need it. Like if you ever need to go have a programmer go in and delete stuff from your database and like do weird stuff, they can. And if you ever need help with that, I do know how to do a bunch of this stuff. So just tell me if you ever have a weird request you can't figure out. But that's pretty much done. And so I'm going to log you out because we're done for forever. And now we're going to start using your WordPress. So here's how you log into WordPress. Type in your domain first, and then put /WP, that means WordPress, -admin. That's how you always log in. So you could like bookmark it, or once you go there a few times, it'll auto-fill. This is what the sign-on screen looks in for WordPress. Did you ever do WordPress? Okay. So you've seen this before. So we're going to type in your name and your password. Log in. Oh, maybe I didn't do an explanation on this one. Just a sec. Oh, great. What did I do wrong? Lip boss boy mom. Okay, tell me your password, Corey. It's just in my ear. I must have typed it wrong. Here it goes. Okay, so, all right. Now, when you do this for the very first time, it's going to offer you the wizard. The wizard, great. So we are going to do this. So click on Start Wizard. It asks you what you want. If you do blog only, it gives you, you can always change stuff, but it's not going to be set up ideally. And so we're going to do website plus, oh, look, online store. That's cool. We're going to experiment with this because that's what you want, and it might give you a template. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, select an industry. Do you want under health and beauty? Okay, title. Do you want it to be called Lip Boss Boy Mom? Okay, and you can always change these things. Have you thought of a slogan or a tagline or anything like that? Like, we could make one up now, like, I sell lipstick, or like, tell me like what your product does. Okay, so I'll put that in there, lips that last all day, and you can change that later, but I'm gonna hit continue. All right, now your email, don't leave this in here because it's some freaky email I don't even know how to access. So you want to put your new one. I'm sure you can access it in the cPanel, but I wouldn't take that chance. So is that your email at gmail.com? Okay. You don't have to put your phone number or fax or address. Do you want anything on here? Oh, that's kind of good. Your phone number, I think, will go on the contact page. I think you probably could be glad that you had that. The only problem is you might get spammers who surf the net for numbers, and they might call you. But if it's a Google Voice number, I have mine on there. Yeah. Okay. 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 All right. Add social media profiles. Do you have a Facebook for, yeah. What do you want to put? Oh, and you have Instagram too? Okay. What's your Facebook URL? Okay, you did make it that instead of a number. Okay, awesome. And then Instagram, what's that? I love it that they were all available. That's cool. Okay, so you can add anything else here that you want to. So for Corey, we're going to put these in. So I'm going to hit continue. Choose a theme. Oh, these are cool. So when I did my website the other day, these were not available. So these are templates. What happens is WordPress is a blank slate. But if you start from a blank slate, you'll go crazy because you just don't even know where to go. So ideally what you want is a template, and that's what this is here. Is there a favorite? Let's look at this one called Boutique and see if you kind of like it. You can change colors and stuff, but do you like this layout? Me neither. Let's see. It does have the other websites here. I'm hitting the arrow. Okay, it does look the same. Let's see what else. These are all from WooCommerce. WooCommerce, I was telling you, is the best one just because they're really popular, so they're always updated. This one's kind of ugly. See this orange? So let's do one of these others. There's Boutique. Okay, here's the difference. The price is in the corner of these, which I really like that. And there's not a price in those. Which one do you like better? Okay. So WooCommerce is public and popular, and then they offer free themes. And so this right here called Boutique is a free theme from WooCommerce, and it's like auto-populated, like you just go in and change stuff, which is awesome. The other thing to learn, which is really neat, is see this word child theme? What happens is WordPress is public domain, and so people change it all the time, and it gets updated all the time, and people can create plugins and stuff to make everything easier. Because of that, there's always updates, and if you start messing around with your theme and they update your theme, or if they update WordPress, it could totally ruin your website. So they make this thing called a child theme, and the child theme is never touched. It's like your own theme. And then the regular theme is what might get updated, and then it doesn't mess up your special settings and stuff. So always do a child theme. Because GoDaddy knows what they're doing, they already provide this to you. So I'm going to hit select, and it's like installing or whatever. So something you might want to do while we're waiting is, when you're doing this on your own, do some research on Google and find out what people are looking for. So like if you start searching Google and type in like best lipstick or whatever, see what the actual words are that people are typing in, because it'll pop up with the recommended typed in words. You know what I'm saying? So you'll know like the format they're typing in, that like maybe they're looking up lipstick best, but you don't know that. So that's how you figure that out. And there's also the Google keyword tool. You can figure all that out. And then when you know those things, those are some of the blog posts you want to make with those words or those phrases. So if you find out that people are looking up best lipstick in the world, then maybe make a blog post called best lipstick in the world, and then write an article about it or your opinion about it, and make sure it's legitimate. Make sure you're not just saying that word and putting a crappy blog post. So that's just like, there's a whole industry on SEO stuff, but that's the basic. And if a lot of people aren't doing SEO for this, then people will find you pretty easy. Especially if you put your company's name around on some of your blog posts, they'll find you that way too. Okay, so this page that it came to is called Customizing the Appearance of Your Website. And all of this is really nice because it's all really easy to follow. We're just going to go down the list. So you could watch this tutorial, but I'll just show you. Okay, so we're just going to go down the list. It says you're customizing your website. We've picked a theme. Okay, click on Site Identity. Do you have a logo? If you had a logo, it would show up. In fact, let me pick one just for fun, and I'll show you what it does. Because I just made one for my... It can be as big as you want. In fact, in fact, let me not mess up with yours. Let me show you two websites. Here's my Hotsy Totsy one. My logo is giant on here, but I like it giant. So you can choose, but I'll show you the effects of it. If it's giant, people are going to have to scroll down to see your stuff. And most of the time that's okay, unless they've never heard of you before, then they're going to be skeptical and they're going to look real quick if it's helpful and informational. So that's what a giant logo looks like. And this graphic was this big. It's like, I don't know, 1,500 pixels wide or 2,000 pixels wide or something. And then the small one is my one I just made the other day. Oh, it's not even there. It's like a square inch. I had it and I decided I didn't want it on there. It's like a square inch. It's pretty small. You can live without it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll skip it for now, but you do have that option. It can be a transparent PNG. That's even better. Site icon is, see this little thing up here? I did it on mine. See that tiny GP up at the top? That is the site icon. So if you don't have one, it'll be a piece of paper. And that's kind of a fun thing to change, but it's not like I would do all of your designing stuff last. I would worry about your input more. So we hit the back arrow. Now we can go to the next one, header. So this says header background image. This is this gray area right here. And do you have an image you want to use? Or is that something you need to think about? Yeah, do you want to do that? Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's cute. I don't know if those words will get covered, but we'll just play with it, and then you can modify it if you want. So I'm going to download it, and then click on Add New Image. Okay, so this is how WordPress works. It's kind of weird, but when you get used to it, it's fine. There's this thing called the Media Library. All your pictures will be here. No matter where you used them in your website, they're in this media library. The reason they do that is because then you can reuse an image without having it take up another separate space on their server. So I'm going to click on Upload Files. I'm going to find this file. Okay, then something that's helpful with your, in fact, I'm going to cancel this, delete. Let me show you something. This is going to help you, so I'll just teach you everything that I know. Find your picture and rename it. See how the name is like all these funny numbers? We're going to rename it with something that's going to help you with your SEO. So we'll just call it, what's the name of your company? Like if somebody's looking for your brand, what's the brand of your lipstick? How do you spell it? Senegence, like that? Okay, so I'm going to put Senegence Lip Boss logo. So if somebody looks up Senegence logo, you might pop up, which is kind of awesome because people might find you by accident. So click on Upload Files. Now we can select that file. Open. And then you want to make sure the title says the same thing that we just typed, and it probably will. By default, it usually does. Okay, it does. Senegence Lip Boss logo. Then, if you want to, you can click on Edit Image and modify it within WordPress, but I would advise against that. It's kind of a pain. So if you can do the graphics beforehand, you're better off. So now I'm going to click on Select. This is their default cropping size. So it's going to be pretty big across the top of the screen, but we'll just try it. So I'm going to click on Crop Image. You can skip the cropping and it'll figure out where the center is. So you'll just have to try both and see what you like. Okay, so this is what it looks like, which is not bad. It does show that it's not wide enough, which is kind of weird. See how it has here on the left and on the right? I'm going to reselect it and not crop it and just see what happens. It might give us better results. There is. Let me show you. I don't know a better way to do this, so let me show you how I know to do it. Actually, nope, right here. Your theme recommends a header size of that. That's your answer. I won't show you the other way. Yeah. Totally. Yep. Okay. I would recommend leaving all the colors alone until you're really into it, because you might turn something invisible by accident. So I just leave all the colors. Okay, now we're going to click on footer, and then that just looks like it's just colors. We're going to click on background. You can do an image for the background if you want. Let me upload one of mine because I think it's pretty cute. And then, of course, we'll just change it back if you don't like it. This glitter one. Actually, I'll just show you what it looks like, and then you'll have an idea of what it does. So as soon as it's done, and I should have changed the name of that. I don't know if it has a good name. Free vector. Okay. So it'll show you what it looks like. Oh, I'm clicking on center, and then I'm clicking on fill the screen. You can't even see it. It must be behind this little white background. So I'm just going to remove the image. We don't need it. Okay, then we go back. Typography, more colors. We're going to leave that alone. Buttons. This is neat. Some of their theme colors are gold, so it matches your logo. Okay, those are more colors. Layout. Okay. Oh, it looks like, okay, so see on the side here, you've got this most popular and your categories showing. You can change that to the left. So do you want it on the left or the right? It'll show you in a second. On the left? Okay. All right. So I'm going to hit back. We're going to keep going. I am going to click Save and Publish just since we've done some work, but we can keep going down. We're going to go to Pagination. Display products in the same category. Okay, first of all, color. We'll leave that alone. Display products in the same category. When enabled, Pagination will only display links to products in the same category. You're not going to have that much stuff, so we're going to leave that alone. I think this is for stores that have gigantic stores. Okay, menus are a little bit complicated, but it's just like logic, so you just got to kind of think of how it works. So you can have menus. You can have many menus. So you could have one called like categories. That could be like a category menu. And you could have another one called main menu, which is like this stuff up here. So the default right now is primary menu. So if we hit the arrow, it's going to show us what's on the primary menu, and you can change these things. So news is probably your blog. I'm pretty sure it's your blog. Contact us, my account, all these things. My account is for your customers. So we'll just leave the default, but just know that, like, if you wanted to on your main menu, in fact, let's just do it. Let's put add items. We're going to add a custom link, and we're going to put a link back to your Facebook just so that it's easy to get to. So it's facebook.com/lipbossboymom. And the link text could be like Facebook, I guess. And then we're going to click on add to menu. Now it's up there. So if people are like, I can't remember where I found her, then they can like do that. Yeah, you could figure out most of this, but I kind of want to just show you all of it. Widgets are pre-programmed chunks of information. So this right here, like this most popular chunk right here, that is a widget. And then like categories right here, that's a widget. So if you wanted a chunk of information on the bottom, these are all widgets. This contact us is a widget. Follow us right here, that's a widget. Menu right here, that's a widget. So these are already pre-programmed. See right here, it has menu in here already. So it's the same menu, by the way. If you'll notice on here, this widget says use the primary menu. So when you make your primary menu changes, it'll change it in both places. This is why WordPress is so cool, because it's all kind of like interlinked. Looks like footer 2 is follow us, footer 3 is contact us, footer 4 doesn't exist. If you wanted it to exist, it would squish these together and put something on the right. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just go back. Static front page. All right, this this is something I would recommend doing, the one called a static page. Your other option is your latest post. So if you're just like all about your blog, that's what latest posts is, and this is what it'll look like. Scroll up here. See, it's got this post here. But since yours is not that, yours is obviously a store. Static page is like a preset page that's not really going to change because of your blog. So we'll leave it on static page. That's what I'd highly recommend. If your template doesn't have a static page by default, and it often doesn't, just create a page called home, and then you can change that to your static page. Okay, additional CSS. Let me tell you what this is, because this is pretty cool. CSS is the way your website looks. I can't even remember what CSS means, but it's the way your website looks. And so, like, if we wanted to, we could tell your website to never show your banner if we wanted to. Or we could tell it to never show this sidebar here. So that's what this is. So this is when your website loads up, it's going to read this left-hand side very, very last. So it'll bring up your website, and then it's going to like follow that code last. So it's kind of like a an override. Okay. All right. So we're down to the bottom. Click on Save and Publish. Correct. Yep. I'd leave that alone. I ran into this. Let me show you on mine real quick. On this glitter pay, I user Lisa. On this glitter pay, it had my menu. So see this menu, this big menu, like this whole thing and that whole thing. It was on the top of my payment page, and so I used that CSS to remove those top banners. So it's pretty cool what you can do with it, but I had to Google how to do it, and I could look up the CSS code. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. It is crazy. Yeah, it's really different. It felt kind of cool to figure it out and do it, but it is complicated. So at that point, you could ask a coder person what to do. Okay, so that's done. If you ever want to go back there again, it's under Appearance and Customize. If you ever have to go back there. If you ever want to look at your page, like I was saying, or I don't think I said in this video, but you want an incognito screen, and so you hit Control-Shift-N on Chrome. It brings up incognito, and then we can look up your Lip Boss Boy Mom. We can look up what your website looks like for other people. So right now, this is what it looks like for other people. If you look at it yourself, I'm still incognito, but if you look at it yourself, it looks weird. Like it's going to have your dashboard at the top, and it'll have edit buttons everywhere. So having that incognito screen is super duper helpful. I just figured it out yesterday. Until then, I was opening it up in Explorer, and Explorer, for some reason, makes half my pictures disappear, so I don't like using that. Okay, so that's how you set it up, okay? At this point, and I'll stay on the phone with you, Corey, but I'm going to end the video. At this point, your website is ready to go. You can go in and make modifications, but it's live. People can look at it, and they can go from this point on. So if you want to learn more, you can look for other videos online. Each specific thing will teach you, like how to add a product in WooCommerce. You can look that up on YouTube, and it'll be there. So thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you like more videos that teach you how to do tech stuff for your business. Thanks.